Hi, I'm Naomi Grant and this is my time-lapse video of Lake Joondalup, and this is part 3. So if you've been watching the other two, parts 1 and 2, you'll see how it's been progressing. And now we're down to the nitty-gritty. The painting has got some structure in it and it's looking fairly resolved, but now we've got to get down and really refine a lot of the detail that is actually happening in the painting, and fix areas that maybe are not working and add in areas yet that I have still to go. So that's what our last section is going to be all about. So now what I've decided to do is I needed to add more reeds and grass structures into the foreground, particularly over on the left hand side of the painting, and build up the ones that are more to the right hand side. So I'm back to my paper, gluing and building the reeds and the structure that's happening. And now I've started to paint in my bird. I think it's actually a peahen. So you can see I haven't painted this in early on, but now I'm trying to build it up, and I'm working around the shadows and the ripples in the water and trying to get the light and play with paint that I'm building up here. And it's slowly taking shape and working up the finer detail and trying to balance what's going on with the picture overall. You can see as I'm trying to get some highlights, and now I'm building up more highlights in the water area and the reeds. So you're moving across the painting now, trying to refine a lot of things. Doesn't look like necessarily a lot's happening, but as I'm standing back surveying the painting, I'm trying to adjust the lights and the darks that are happening in various sections of the painting and whether it's all fitting together. Now I've moved up to the top section where the trees are, and there's lots of dead, fine, sort of twiggy branches. So I'm starting to try and refine and to build up that sense of foliage in the trees more and more, probably because they're very fine. It's a little bit hard maybe to pick up on the camera, but you can see that slowly that twiggy area is actually starting to develop and getting a lot of shadow and shade on it as well, and trying to balance the painting out overall. So at this stage, it doesn't look like a lot's happening, but I'm refining. Now here you can see I've got to the stage where it's finished and I've got the bird in. Now I'm assessing, and I've decided that I didn't actually like the bird. I felt it didn't really work, so I've decided to paper it out, and you can see here I've actually just gluing over it, adding some more colours in with the water and building it. I thought the bird was actually too much of a distraction in the actual overall painting, and I wanted the trees and the environment and the little section of the floating trees to be more of a focus. So while the glue's drying on that area, I've gone back up to my top trees and started to add in a bit more detail and finer areas again with the bark and the leaves, and working that out. And I've decided I'd rather put another one of my little trees with the plastic bags in the centerpiece as opposed to the bird. Now I guess it's just a matter of opinion whether you thought one was better than the other. And here I've also decided that I needed slightly more green foliage up into the dead branched areas. You can see, so I've gone back with paper. So now I've decided to draw in another little tree structure with the plastic bag and the shadow, and make that more the central focus as opposed to the bird. And then I've decided to put another one over on the other side of the painting to balance out. And again, working out the highlights and the reflections and the structure, and just tidying up all the little details that you see and you think need to be balanced in the painting. So when you get down to this stage, it's a case of, you know, what more do I need to do to make it work, or am I just adding things in unnecessarily? And here you can see the final finished picture, Lake Joondalup, where I decided that was it. I was quite happy with it. I really didn't need to do any more. I guess, you know, there's always the conjecture of when do you stop, you know, but at some point you have to say, okay, well, I'm happy with it and I'm not going any further. So thank you for watching my time-lapse video. I do hope you enjoyed it and you got a little bit better sense of how I actually create my works. So thank you very much. Bye for now.